just like you are learning now. Sikh word comes from Sanskrit called Shishya, and in Punjabi it's called Sikh, in Sanskrit it's called Shishya. Literally meaning that we are all students. We are always learning. Now, even though we were called Sikhs, but we were fighting amongst ourselves because of the caste distinction. What's your last name?
Singh.
Good. What's yours?
Dog. Oh, my last name?
Last name?
Oh, dog.
Dangra. Now you can see Dhaliwal is different than Dangra. And if there are a lot of Dhaliwals, they are going to try to suppress the Dhingras. Because we are in a majority, so you serve to us. So if the Sikhs were ever going to fight the Muslims, to resist them, they need to get together. Now, you can only get together if you are all similar. So that thought was propagated by Govind Rai, who said everybody's last name would be Singh. End of discussion. So if everybody is called Singh, then you cannot know who is richer, who is poor, who is a higher caste, who is a lower caste.
So is that why when they, Amrit Shakti, they all changed their last names?
Correct.
Singh and Kaur.
Correct. Absolutely. That was a tradition started by the 10th master, Shri Guru Gobind Singh. So, to your question, Nanak was 250 years before Guru Gobind Singh. Right? He was in the 15th, 16th century, whereas Guru Gobind Singh was 17th century. Okay. 1699 is literally when he started that tradition. But the Guru can say anything, it's up to the Sikh whether he wants to follow or not, right? The Guru said it, he's gone, and we changed back to Dhingras and Dhillos and Gils and this and that, and we are back to fighting, which is rather unfortunate. It's very important that we remember we are all Singhs. We have no other last name. That's it. Okay? Now you asked the question, when was
People.
Guru Nanak?
Yeah.
Right. I believe it was about
69.
1469 or so. And the village was called Nankana, which is in Pakistan now. And they had a Gurdwara there at his place of birth. Okay. So, go ahead.
Why did Guru Gobind Singh Ji write Guru Granth Sahib? Why didn't he let not his son, but someone else become Guru? Like, why didn't he
I see. Why did he stop
why
the-
did he just,
stop the physical
Yeah.
Gurudom? Excellent question. Why did Guru Gobind Singh decide that the Guru in body form is not a good idea? It was a very revolutionary thing that he did. Because whenever there is a Gurudom in a physical form, then the worship of the physical body becomes important. Right? I mean, everybody is here now, and if you are a Guru, everybody will be obligated to touch your feet. Right? Everybody will be obligated to bring you the money and the clothes and the fruits because you are the Guru. So you see, what you have to say becomes irrelevant. Who you are becomes more because you are sitting in physical form. So now, if we continue this thought and say, Guru lives in Patna and I am living in Ludhiana, right? Now what should I do? Well, okay, I don't have a Guru, I'll put his picture. Or I am a rich man, I'll go to a sculptor and ask him, make a statue of Guru Gobind Singh, because I can't go there every day, every week. So let's put his statue here in the house and worship the statue. You see how it snowballs. So now what should be done? I mean, Guru is a very revered word. Guru literally means the one who guides you. So Guru Gobind Singh asked a fundamental question. Is the guidance coming from the body, physical body? Or it is the words that the Guru is saying? Words are right? Okay. So if the word is a Guru, because that's what is teaching, well, what if that word came from a book? It's still teaching you. What if you heard on the radio? It's still teaching you. What if you heard while you were walking by, somebody said it touched your heart and said, ah, you start learning from it. So who is the real Guru then? The word. Hence the body is unimportant. So what should we do then? He said, well, take the word, compile it, and say, take the guidance from the word, forget about the physical form. So that there is no so-called sadhuism and all these deras and taksals and literally worship of physical form is a mistake because it leads the consciousness into the service of the physical body.
So it's, if you're listening like to a CD which has the words of Guru Granth Sahib recorded, it's the same as reading it?
Yeah. Provided you are a Sikh and you are learning from it, you can stop being a Sikh, stop learning and just enjoy it and have entertainment. And, it's a song, you can dance with it, you can sing with it. If it becomes an entertainment of the senses, then it stops being the Guru. Right? It's not teaching you anything. All you're doing is somebody's playing the rhythm and there is a whole of the orchestra going on and the people have beautiful voices and the tune is very good. It's no longer Shabad Guru. That's where the mistake happened. In the entire Sikh world, that's what the mistake happened. Because I'm reading it, repeating it every day. I get up in the morning, I do my morning rituals and then I sit down and then I read. Or I come in the evening and I'm now free, I have fed the children and everybody, so I'm going to take and I'm going to sing or listen. And while listening, I'm going to go to sleep. So what it's doing, it might be doing something to the body, right? Because it's soothing it. It's almost hypnotic. It's hypnotizing the mind to go to sleep. But what it's doing to the consciousness? Nothing, right? If it's not doing anything with the consciousness, it stops being the Guru.
So when you said, if you are a Sikh and you're listening to it, you mean Sikh in the sense of a student, not
Exactly.
with a person with a turban, right?
Exactly,
Right.
exactly. That's why I say, that's the tragedy with us. We have forgotten even to understand the meaning of the word Sikh. If only we remind ourselves that I am a Sikh. Sikh is a student, a disciple. That means, as compared to a master, I'm still a student.
Yeah.
So if I'm still a student, how I can be arrogant?
Yeah.
Right? If I can't be arrogant, the ego's roots are cut from the bottom. No. Right? I can immediately say what I'm proud of. Master is sitting right there. But we don't remember. We call ourselves Sikh and behave as masters. And that's where lies the problem. Whether it is in the Gurdwaras, whether it is in the official business. Some people come to me and say, well, you can't be in the business world and be so humble? How do you solve that problem? Because in this country, individualism, my work is better than his work, right? That's what, if two of us are working together for the same boss, competition is going to come. If the competition comes, the ego is going to come up. So how do you deal with it? What did the Sikhs do? Right? And they realize the real training of a Sikh. How do you live in the world in humility, yet not starve to death? So, when you are in that type of an environment, you immediately become an actor. Don't believe that you are, but act the role. Play the drama. So what happens in a drama? I mean, you watch TV, you watch movies all the time, right? You have gone to the Universal Studios and see how they make the movies, right? Where there are two actors and they are playing a role. And the cameraman is taking the picture. The director is sitting right here. When the environment is ready, he says, action. So what happens when they say action? The both persons forget who they are and start acting. Right? Okay. Now, when the role is complete, director says, cut. Right? Then what happens? They become their original self, they go back to their
Home.
right? Their homes or their trailers or etc. That's how a Sikh is supposed to live in the business world.
So just pretend.
Just pretend. Don't believe that you are superior. You just need to present as a temporary role. But that's not what happens. Right? Husband comes from the work. He's saying, where's my dinner? What do you mean where's my dinner? I also spent 10 hours working out there. You're so damn hungry, go make it yourself. What's happening here? They brought the same competition inside the home. Right? The man immediately became, I am the man. So, I don't care if you work. You are the woman. Making the food is your responsibility. Ah. He said, well, you came from India where the woman never worked. I work here, so it's not any longer my responsibility. So she brought that competition home. So now they're both competing. They've forgotten they are Sikhs. I can guarantee you, if you just remind yourself that you are a Sikh, you can never have an argument, you can never fight, because fight is of the ego. It doesn't matter who surrenders the first ego. End result will be still the same.
It helps.
Isn't it? I mean, take a look. All this while. Okay, now we are both pulling it. What's happening to the wire?
Stretching.
It's tight, right? It's stretching. Okay. Hold it. Keep holding. And keep pulling. See if there's a tension in it. Alright. You drop. Is there a tension in it? So what happened? Whether you dropped or I dropped, the tension went away. Right? But that's not what we do. When the husband and wife in argument, you surrender, you surrender, neither one of us surrender, so tension continues. See how simple it is? So coming back to Sikh. A Sikh is supposed to be working on the ego aspect of his or her existence through the entire life. It's whole life work. Okay?
Now the next question.
Why do we wear turbans?
Well, it's a simple thing. If you have long hair and you just shampooed it and washed it and then you go out and get it filled with dust, so just cover it.
Why do we keep on hearing?
No, that was a question last time also. I don't think you remember. Okay, no, that's quite all right.
Question repeat kind of recorded.
Why do we keep? First question was, why do you wear turban? And the answer was that it is for the simple cleanliness of the body. It's part of the clothes, as you will. Well, I'm not a good fashion sense, so I don't know what matches with what. I just pick up anything and put on. So, but the people match the turban, the good clothes, this and socks, everything. It's a part of the dress. We have labeled it as said it's my religion. Turban is not a religion. Now, here has a totally different connotation. It has nothing to do with this. So I'll briefly explain to you again. Actually, what I would suggest to the organizer is that these questions, I wish you would document and then
We did for the last one.
and put it on the
Yeah, we
website.
did.
That's really extremely valuable. Guru Gobind Singh wanted the Sikhs to understand the design of the nature. And the message the Vedas was giving, nature consists of 4 elements. One is a matter, solid. This is matter. This is matter. Now matter has a quality other than, I'm not talking about the properties of the metals and etc. I'm talking about the quality. The quality is that whatever its form, whatever its shape is, it's unwilling to compromise. Right? That table is sitting there, you can go and ask that table, would you please just drop that one corner so that I can sit comfortably? Table is going to say, you move, I'm not going to do that. We find some people also like that. Those are called stubborn people. Stubborn people refuse to choose, to change. They are fixed. They are not moving. They don't change. Now, what doesn't change? When does human stop changing? Any guess? When he dies. Very good. When a human is dead, it's only time when it stops changing. That is why we don't like to sit next to a dead body. Why? It's not changing. It's the same. That is why we do not like a stubborn person, because it reminds us of death. As death doesn't change, this person is not changing. So he's reminding me of as if he's dead. So you can deal with anybody comfortably except the stubborn person, Ziddi. But that person is living in a total physical dimension. And the physical dimension says, what is in it for me? That's it. Did I get my space? Then it's okay. Because it doesn't change it. It also has another property, which is you can cut it, burn it, hit it. It doesn't respond. Right? Okay. That's one level, called physical level. The next level is emotional level. So, what's the next evolutionary stage? Plant. Vegetation. Now the plants feed, the flowers feed. We all know that. It's scientifically proven. So, even though there is an emotion in it, there's a problem with that. There's no logic in it. Emotional people you cannot argue. There's no possibility with them, because Guru said so, so I'm going to do so. Well, don't you want to think about it? No, there's no need to think. That's the way it is. Emotions have no logic. Love is an emotion. Right? And I'm sure all of us have heard those arguments. A daughter will go to the parents and say, I want to marry this boy. And the parents say, why? He has no job, he has no car, he has no money. And she said, Mom, I love him. So what's happening here? Mom is trying to argue, use the logic, and daughter is responding from emotions. Emotions have no logic. So that is the second layer. What is the third layer? Called intellect. Intellectual. So if you look at any bird, any animal, they have the brain. They can recognize between their own offspring versus they can defend their territories. But what's the problem in that third dimension? They have no consciousness of the spirit. They have no consciousness of the time. They have no consciousness of the space. They have no consciousness of the higher self. So what do the intellectual do then? They just argue. Philosophers, teachers, professors who just have read and they just deliver the lecture and start arguing left and right without any consideration to the emotional element of it, any consideration to the spiritual element. They just argue. Look at these words. Grammar says this means this. That's the third dimension. And the last dimension, fourth dimension, is of course the spirit. Spiritual dimension is only available to the human body. It's not available to anybody else. Okay. So having all the four dimensions exist in the human body. How? What's the hair? So if I cut it, does it cry? If I burn it, does it yell? So what is it representing? The physical. What happens to the skin? If I pinch it, does it hurt? If I caress it, does it feel good? So what is this? Emotion. Right? While we are arguing, what is going on? The brain, the intellect, and the spirit inside, behind all of that. So all four dimensions are represented in the body. So if we believe in the creator and the creative design, we should first respect and accept the design, that it has complete dimension. It's reminding us of the completeness of the creation. That was the rationale. If you are going to start on a spiritual dimension and you start arguing right from the beginning, should I have hair? If I do, how long? In what form? What shape? If you are going to spend energy in these arguments, where is the spirituality in it? So he cut the arguments completely out. He said, just leave it alone. Acknowledge the creation in totality as it is.
Then why don't we do our names?
Pure medical reason. This is actually, are you smarter than the fifth grader? A question. When I was a fifth grader, they used to ask, why are we trimming our nails? The main reason we trim the nail, because the dust and the dirt and the things get stuck in it. When you eat, that what is stuck in the nails ends up going with the food in your stomach, causing the sicknesses. Hence, we keep it rounded down to the... I'm not saying that you should need to go to a beauty parlor and get the nails done. It's all basically saying, trim it close enough to the skin that it doesn't get dirt or other things into it. Because even if you have long nail and you go to the wash basin and wash it, guess what? The outer side is going to get washed, the underneath is still going to remain the same. So cutting the nail has no other meaning other than the cleanliness of the body, just as we shampoo, wash and clean our hair.
But
Again, cleanness of the body.
But cutting can be also, we can use the same argument for the hair also, cutting the hair. For the same argument, just like the hair.
Yeah, you can.
So it's not really, I think if we are saying, like, the first question is that this is how God created you, that's how you should say, because like even if you cut it, then the same argument goes for the nail, hygiene,
That's what I
can
meant.
apply to the hair also.
What if you don't cut the nails?
No, I mean, the
No,
same
no,
thing.
no, no. Right. Stay with the thought. Assume you don't cut, let it grow.
They'll break,
Bingo.
yeah.
Does that happen to the hair?
They also break. They
From the
also
root?
fall.
From the root?
They fall from the root. When they get very long, they pulled out. And
What I'm saying to you is that the nail will grow, can support, that a finger can support only certain length of the nail in its natural way. Beyond it, it will automatically start dropping. Okay? That doesn't happen with the hair. Hair on different parts of the body maintain its pigmentation, its thickness, and its length depending upon the quality of the skin.
But then
You can magically see that.
Guru Gobind Singh wrote also, Kabir Sahib, it doesn't make a difference whether you have long.
Yeah, not Guru Gobind Singh. That's a Kabir Shlok.
Yeah.
Gurbani actually, when it's talking of spirituality, all Guru Gobind Singh is saying is stop arguing and fighting on this issue. Muslims said that you need to grow the beard. How long? Just hold it with your fist and then trim it from underneath. That's the length of your fist. Hindus said, keep a center and shave the rest. Bodhi said, shave this entire thing out. And Guru Gobind Singh says, why are you arguing? What significance it has? Other than it's a symbol of the completeness of creation. Now, this was a kind of a symbolic message to take the arguments out and unify in a class-based, a single group who can stand the resistance from the Islamic pressure. Okay? Now, if we want to sit and argue, there will be no end to it. You can find faults with everything, including God. There is a message. You can accept the message